Yo, what's up? We the Goody Mall. T-Mo Goody, CeeLo Goody, and Gil.
I'm Joe Goody.
And you listen to Downtown Hott Radio. Yeah.
We live on Downtown Hott Radio. I'm your host, Walil Archer with the Rapp Radio Show on Downtown Hott Radio. Have my special guest on the line, SolAce. What it do?
What's up, man? What's up, Walil? Thanks for having me, man.
My pleasure, my pleasure. I'm loving your energy. I'm loving your vibe. It's always good when it's good energy and good vibe.
Oh, yes, sir.
Definitely appreciate that. So let's talk about music. How did you get started in the music industry?
Wow. Well, you know how I got started with, first I'm going to tell you just how I got started with music in general. And that was back in the day as a shorty. Really found my parents actually were just like, you got to play some instrument. That's the rule of the house. I was like, okay. So I tried little things here and there. Had a friend's Casio keyboard. And I was like, ooh, I like this. I like this. So they were like, all right, you're going to do piano. That's where it started, man. I started with, believe it or not, doing classical piano growing up. Shout out to my old school teacher, Mrs. Siegel. And from there, just developed a love for music. But it really wasn't until like 8th grade where I started to sing. And then it wasn't until after high school, really, I wanted to start to write my own songs.
Let's talk about that Casio keyboard, though. You thought you was the man with that Casio keyboard, didn't you?
I knew I was, though. I knew I was. I even made a song back then, and my parents are like, you rewrote somebody else's song, man. But I knew I was the man with that keyboard.
I know. I had one of those. I didn't pursue music, but yeah, I know the Casio. So let's talk a little bit more. So when did you start going into the studio?
Yeah, okay. So, man, the studio actually started after college. You know, I was down there with you in hot Atlanta. I went to Morehouse College, man. And my freshman year, what happened was, you know, like I said, I grew up classically trained, played classical, played some jazz. And, but freshman year, I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of playing other people's music. And, you know, so I would just like wander up to the music hall. And, you know, rooms are locked. I used to always find a way to get in. And I just started to just sit down, man, just start to vibe on the piano. And after a while, I was like, something might be going on here. So like I said, I always had the vocal background. I used to love to sing, always loved to play. But it was then that I finally put the two together. And then I started to write my own stuff. And the rest is kind of history.
Now, what do you enjoy about writing?
You know, writing is something, man, that is, I know it's a cheesy term or people always say it, but it's the truth is that writing is so therapeutic for me. You know, at the time when I actually started writing, I was actually at a low point in my life, man. And I'm not saying it was, you know, super dark or anything, but I was just at a point where, you know, I needed something to kind of bring me a little bit more joy. And when I started to write, the love, the passion that I felt for it is what brought me that joy. And so it's just something that, you know, capturing that emotion and transferring it to the track is something that, man, it's always, there's nothing in my life, man, that brings me such an amazing pleasure than that.
Nice. Now let's talk about your music that you have out now.
Yes.
Let the listeners know the name of some of the tracks. Yeah,
most definitely. So I don't know what you have there, but yeah, I'm actually on the midst of a 5-song EP right now. And so I'm on my 3rd single on my way to the 5. And so the first one was called If We Had Love. It's a reggae track. The second one is more of an R&B flavor called Attitude. And then the third one is the one I just dropped just a little over a week ago, a little under 2 weeks ago, I should say, called Better Man For You.
Nice. Now let's start with the first one. How did you come up with that title?
Oh, so, you know, that song kind of came about on its own, man. It was one of those things where I was working out and left the treadmill, listening to totally different music. And I just heard this bass line, and I was like, I got to put this on the phone. So I got my phone, sang the bass line. And then as I was listening to it back, that's when I kind of heard the chorus. And that was the first thing that came to me. If we had love, if we had love. And it stuck. And I said, okay, I got to write a whole song around this bass line and that phrase, if we had love.
And how long did it take you to do the song from start to finish?
It was some time, because you know what? I wasn't really recording at the time. I was just I was kind of in a different phase. And so I just thought, I'm just gonna play around with this a little bit. I won't take this too seriously. But as I started to go into it, I'm like, wait, this song is real, man. This song could do something, at least as far as I was concerned. And so from start to finish, it was a couple months. I mean, I took my time with it, man, and really massaged it. Had my friend KF Jacques at Vibe Pony Records, man. He helped me, add a few different elements to it. Put some ears on it to make sure I wasn't crazy, that it was sounding good, and yeah, and then made history with it.
And what about the second song?
Then that second track came about. Now at this point, I had a little team together. So like I said, I had my guy at Vibe Pony Records. I had this tight producer who had won some Chicago beat battles, named Iliad. And so we were like this crew together trying to, produce new songs for me and for each other. And so he had this listening track, as we call it, and it was just a sick beat. And so I took it to my studio, chopped it up, rearranged it, and then made it into the song that's now called Attitude.
All right. And how long did it take you to put that together, start to finish?
Yeah, that one was shorter, because that was more like, it came up, the production was done. While with If We Had Love, I had to do everything myself, all the keyboards, the bass line, singing it, all the vocals, everything. But Attitude was much faster, like just like 3 weeks, two weeks or so from start to finish.
Okay, cool. And then that last track, the third track?
Oh, the last track, man. That's the one I'm the most excited about, because that one is doing so well now, and I'm so proud of it. Because that one is like my baby. That one is not only now KF Jacques, my friend, at Vibe Pony Records, he produced the track. Similarly, he had like stripped down a little bit. I took it to my studio, rearranged it, bulked it up, did some other things with it, but then was doing the track, recording the vocals and everything. And then I was like, man, I want a rap break on this track, but I don't want to do it myself. Yeah, I have a little flow here, some people would say. But I thought, let me call in some extra help. So I called up my contacts, like, man, you have a rapper that could go with this thing. And then so had a couple suggestions, and ended up using another local Chicago rapper named Man Williams. And so he's the one featured on the track in the rap break. And then, we ended up going full steam ahead, man. We did a music video downtown, Navy Pier, heart of Chicago. We had a lot of fun with this. And so, yeah, so that's Better Man for You.
Now let's talk about that video. What all went into that? Did you have to get permits and block off streets? You laughing? Yeah, the politics.
Yeah, I'm laughing because, I know how you're supposed to do it. And I legitimately, we shot it in 2 different cities. We shot it in Chicago. We shot it in a suburb of Chicago called Highland Park. And I'm telling you, man, I promise Chicago authorities, like I looked up, how to get the permits and everything, and it's especially for Highland Park. And but there was no real rules on it. And so we just shot it guerrilla, we shot it guerrilla style. We went downtown, and this security guard, he did come up to us and he was like, y'all all just taking photos, right? I was like, yes, sir. Just the photos. And at the time we were shooting photos. So
that was nice.
So yeah, he walked away. Like he knew what was up, but he gave us the answer that he needed to have to tell his manager. We're like, yes, sir, just photos. But he let us go, man. He let us go. This big 6'5", real burly dude, man. And so I thank him. I don't know who you are, man, but I thank you for letting me shoot the music video without a permit. But we had a lot of fun.
That's funny. Because here in Atlanta, I'm in Atlanta. In Atlanta, certain places, they shut you down just shooting pictures.
Oh, man.
Just shooting pictures.
You could do a TikTok dance and the guards will come over like, stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was cool, man. And we shot for a couple hours too. We were there a while. So we were all over that place.
Now, how exciting is it for you to switch it up and put a rapper in there?
Oh, I like that, man. One thing I'm about is diversification of sound. So I said, I grew up playing classical music, man. So I was playing Mozart and Beethoven, but that didn't mean I didn't love other type of music. Grew up loving rap and R&B, of course, soul. And so for me, I love that diversification of sound. It's like, Attitude was technically a trap beat. I'm not a trap rapper, but I love being able to put like a totally different flair over a sound that you don't expect. So you wouldn't expect someone like me with my R&B sound to go over a trap beat. So I like doing that. So the same thing, man, is when I have a track, I could say, oh, someone would say, oh, this is just an R&B track. But, having that rapper in there, adding his own special element is just, I love that.
What's your future plans for your career now?
So the future plans for the career, man, I am happy to announce, this is the first time I'm saying it in such a venue, is that I have just decided to sign with an independent label called Skrilltown Mo Music. And it allows me to get international distribution through Sony Music and Orchard Distribution. And I mean, these are the same cats that distribute for Beyonce and Ed Sheeran, and Skepta. And so they're the real deal. And so it was such an honor, to have my music be considered, at a level where it could be distributed like that. So right now, that's what we're doing. We're really working to distribute the current music that I have, the 3 tracks that are out. But I'm also working on, some new tracks as well to add to this. And then we'll see where the future takes us from there.
Now, as much as you could tell, because I know some things be confidential, but how did you come across getting signed?
You know what? It's not, in this case, not fully confidential. An artist just wrote me about that this morning. An artist from Japan. He wrote me, IM'd me, was like, how did this happen? Look, it's out there. What I would tell any artist to do is look online, look for labels that are accepting submissions from independent artists, and just send it to them. Send them your YouTube. Send them your Instagram, make sure everything is together. For me, I wanted to make sure my whole social media presence was there. Get your YouTube page set up, get Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, do it all. Post every day, post at least every week. Make sure you have a little presence because they love to see that. And then start sending your resume and start sending your tracks out there. And eventually I'm just kidding. Eventually someone will love your music. And they will say, we love your sound and we want to support you. And because that's what it's all about. There's a sound out there for everyone. So always keep believing that someone would love to listen to your music, because I believe that's true.
All right. Now, with so many platforms, like you said, TikTok, YouTube, IG, it's just social media crazy out there.
Yeah.
Do you focus on one more than the other, or you just go across the board?
You know what? I go across the board. I'm going to tell people right now, if you are on Twitter, please support me, because Twitter obviously hates to tweet me. But no, my thing is I love TikTok. I love like the inspiration of seeing all the dances and all the comedy. But Instagram has been, where Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, mainly Instagram and YouTube, have been where my heart is, where I found the most people who've really felt my music, who've really loved it. But still, I try to, as I said, I run the gamut when I do my posts. But if someone to say, you can pick only one for the rest of your career, for right now, it would be Instagram.
It would be Instagram. And let's talk about your budget. We talked about it before we started, but your advertising budget. For up and coming artists that don't understand how important it is for the advertising budget, share some of the experience that you have.
Wow, man, is that ever true? People don't realize it. Of course, look, we can all blow up if the right person has your track, or if they put it on their video, or they retweet you or whatever. But the truth of the matter is, if you're starting out, you want to get out there, man. I learned pretty fast that just putting a YouTube video out there, yeah, you look back later like, got my 20 views, woo. No, I mean, that's not going to go anywhere. So you have to reach out. You've got to reach out to Facebook, I set up a Facebook business account, set up an Instagram business account. And what I did was, when I have something that I really, really want to put out there, I have Facebook help me target an audience. And so that we can really put it in the eyes of the people who really want to hear you. I mean, there's billions of people in this world, but the truth is, you only need a few hundred or a few thousand that love what you do, to really make a living out of it. So I someone gave me that piece of advice, and I was like, man, that's so true. That's so true. Just if I can get it in front of the right few thousand people, that's it. That's my career. So yeah, you have to put forth something toward that promotional budget, just to make sure that you're achieving the goal you want, which is to have people hear and love your music.
There it is. There it is. Where can they find you on social media, and where can they find your music?
Right. So I'm pretty much streamlined all around. So everything TikTok, anywhere has it's called SolAce the Artist. One word, one long word, SolAce the Artist. So TikTok.com, SolAce the Artist. Instagram, SolAce the Artist. Facebook.com, SolAce the Artist. Twitter, SolAce the Artist. And then, of course, my website, SolAceTheArtist.com.
So easy to find you. So easy to find you.
And one last one, of course, YouTube. Can't forget my YouTube fans and all. That's been so good to me. If you want to see all the videos, music videos, it's there. YouTube.com/C means channel. SolAce the Artist.
Nice. And as we begin to close out, any closing remarks, final thoughts?
You know, Walil, I just want to thank you for having me on here. I want everyone to know that, this is the time we've had a time of great division, that I think music is one way that we can all kind of come back together in love and in harmony, no pun intended. And, I just really thank you for this opportunity. And I hope that, I could see you again one day.
My pleasure. Thanks for doing the interview.
Most definitely. Thank you, man.
My pleasure.
Two things I don't understand: quantum mechanics and what you see in that man. Why do you let him play your heart? Said he's being faithful, only see you when it's dark. Said that he would be there early, looking at your watch, but now it's 11:30. 2 a.m. You finally get that call. You know it's about that booty. He don't care for you at all. Ooh, you never come through. Not trying to diss your man, but that brother straight through. Thought you already knew that I could be a better man for you. Ooh, you never come through. Not trying to diss your man, but that brother straight through. Ooh, thought you already knew that I could be a better man for you. Let me show you finer things. Massages by the fool, 18-karat diamond rings. You could sit there in my ride, 7-figure deals. You could broker by my side. We could take a trip to Asia, pyramids in Egypt, the Buddha in Malaysia. Bright lights in Tokyo, swim in Waikiki or snowboard in Colorado. Ooh, you'll never come